So I've got General Towns versus Dr. Thrax, but I can't build any units. So that means no units from the Command Center, Supply Center, Barracks, War Factory, or Airfield. Also, bonus challenge, we're not using super weapons. And that also includes Dr. Thrax's Scudstorm, so no super weapons whatsoever. So right now we're building the power plant. We're going right next to the Command Center for this one. Normally I would build the power plant a bit further away because Dr. Thrax's Scudstorms always aim at the Command Center there. But I do need to get the resources up quick, and I do need to set up my defenses pretty quick as well. Just so I've got everything in order at the base. Now, the thing with Thrax is he's actually sort of one of the harder ones to go up against with a one dozer rule here because of the amount of toxins that are on the map. It's very easy to lose your workers or your dozers to toxins, especially if you only got one to work with, which is what actually happened in the General Alexander version of this challenge. I ended up losing my dozer partway through, and I didn't have super weapons at the time, and basically relying solely on general powers to beat Dr. Thrax. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off, but somehow I did. But yeah, that's a story for another time. Anyway, so currently got second turret on the go. Usually about 3 or 4 is good enough to fend off Thrax's units, because he doesn't really take aim at the turrets much. He wants to aim at your command center, so he'll just send whatever units past the turrets and try and take out your command center as quickly as he can. But once my command center is out of the picture though, he does wind down his attacks. It's like he stops attacking completely in some spots. Which is fine for me, I don't mind, because by that point I'm gonna have you know, like rank 5 potentially, and even if I didn't, I'd be able to generate those points pretty easily just based on what general powers I've got and what targets are available to me. Yeah. Next thing on the agenda, barracks. So we've got 3 turrets defending our front line. I want the barracks because I want to get the capture upgrade. Now, in this sort of challenge, I can't build any infantry. However, since we're playing as US, it means if the building is destroyed, it's going to spawn rangers, and we can use those rangers to capture the wheel derricks that are nearby. So, not a rule break there, in case you're wondering. Now, because of the range of my laser turrets, they're very good at dealing with Dr. Thrax's base defenses. And Thrax likes to send out all of his infantry out of the Toxin network, so extra general points for me, can't go wrong there. So now we're just bolstering up our power. I've gone for a second supply center as well. So second supply center, that's going to give me another Chinook, which will increase the amount of resources I gather, but I also built it because I know the Scudstorm that's coming later on is going to destroy the Scudstorm that's closer to the resources. So I wanted to get on top of that sooner rather than later, because I knew I had a bit more time to play with when it came to Thrax's attacks on the right side.
Every moment you delay, you die a little bit more.
So he's got a couple of Terrys. Again, they're just aiming for my command center, so I had nothing to worry about there. There are a little bit of toxins from the Terrys there. Also not a big deal because we're not going to go too close to that. But the right side, I want to go with something like 4 turrets. I felt like that was going to be enough for me, because he does send a lot of bomb trucks from that right side, and if you can knock out one bomb truck, because he usually has them all lined up, so if you can take out one, you can pretty much take out all of them, because there's some kind of splash damage that's going on when you take out the first one. So we used the laser turret, taking out our own barracks. So now we can capture the oil derricks, which will in turn increase the amount of resources that we can get. And we've noticed that the laser turrets have put in the work and got some shots off on Thrax's defenses. I can't take him out from that range. I have to wait on Thrax to send in more units, and then my laser turrets can get in those extra shots. So I just have to hope that Thrax consistently continues to bust out more units my way, so then we can finally deal with that problem.
Don't you know petroleum is a key ingredient in my toxins?
Yeah, right now I'd settled for 3 turrets for the time being at my right side. I wanted to build a laser turret on the right side of the front line that I've set up. And I wanted to do that so then I could, 1, have a better chance of taking out the Stinger site, but 2, I want to be more ready for when the Anthrax bomb comes. I think it comes around the 13-minute mark, and the Anthrax bomb is something that goes on cash value. So I want to be able to have enough defense so then I can destroy the plane before it drops those toxins. Because those toxins are what's really going to be a threat to my one and only dozer here.
Laying the foundation. All finished. Good area.
Now breathe in. That's it, and out. Again.
Yep, so going in with my first A-10 strike, I went for the garrison building because 1, it's something that Dr. Thrax can't rebuild, but 2, general points. So I want to try and pick targets that Thrax won't send workers in to rebuild, because when I do my big attacks later on, I want to make sure that every worker is accounted for, and I don't want to have to deal with a situation where he's going to miraculously have 1 worker left, and that's going to rebuild everything that I destroyed, and basically draw out the battle even longer than it has to be. Because with it, using no super weapons, this did drag on for a little bit, but surprisingly, it did go for under an hour. So I was surprised about that. I thought I'd be here a lot longer. And we just took out the Jarman Kell as well. So Jarman Kell is a one-time deal on this map here, so now that he's out of the picture, I don't have to worry about my dozer getting sniped. And I guess even if he did get sniped, I'd still have the ranges to fall back on. I could just use one of those to occupy the dozer, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But if you're playing as China, for example, like Nuke General or Tank General, when you don't have red guards available, then it's definitely a problem.
Do you enjoy seeing your men glow in the dark? Build more then.
So with the dozer, I'm confident in the 3 laser turrets, which is why I haven't built that 4th one yet. I just want to focus on building as much power as possible here. Now, I'm clustering my power together because this is one general that you can get away with that sort of thing. And if you're up against, for example, towns, General Kwai's another one that you could get away with it. Those are the sorts of challenges where you can do some compact building. But if you're up against Ling or Alexander, no shot.
Upgrade complete.
And another reason for the compact building is we want to attract the Anthrax bomb. So we've still got the 6 laser turrets that are nearby, plus the ones that we got on the right side too. So we want to be able to attract that Anthrax bomb to the right side of my base, and then hope that whatever defense I've got will be enough to shoot it down every time that Thrax decides to launch it my way.
You will come for the toxin, but you'll stay because you're dead.
What's the story? Any more projects? Ooh, can't do that.
Yep, so now we're going for the War Factory. Again, this is just me trying to increase the cash value of that side of my base, trying to make that side of the base much more attractive for the anthrax bomb to let loose.
Oh, can't build this, sir.
And then strategy center, same reason.
Upgrade complete.
You will regret intruding on my experiments, General.
So yeah, Thrax did something a little bit unexpected here. He actually sent a unit in from the left side, which is something that doesn't normally happen to me. And so I had to use my rangers that I dropped in to help deal with that. I did lose a few. No, I didn't lose a few. I lost a couple. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse because that area is highly unguarded. Reason why that would have happened was because I didn't set up defenses sooner. I think that's the case here. So now that I know that that's a problem, I need to try and deal with it, but instead of instead of dealing with the problem right away, I chose to build more laser turrets at my front line. And I thought to myself, well, maybe the 6 that we've got in play right now might not be enough for that anthrax bomb that's coming later. And it might have been a good choice that I didn't choose to go to the left side because of the quad cannon.
Nothing can live beneath my toxic cloud, General.
That one's done.
They're attacking our base.
Ready.
Special forces here.
Want to make some improvements?
Ready for another chemistry lesson?
Yeah, since I noticed I had the cash, I went for a couple more upgrades. The training upgrade, very helpful because we're going to be relying pretty heavily on the rangers. And then you got the chem suits, understandable because of the toxins.
Need a point, man.
So now it gets interesting because I do want to set up some defenses, but I have let time go by quite a bit. So it means that Thrax is more likely to send in attacks after me. So instead, I decide to build my defenses, but do the A10 strike on the Toxin bunker plus the artillery platform. So that's going to buy me a little bit of time to get my defenses up on that section, because his units won't be able to withstand the toxins.
Stay away from my Scud missiles. I'll give them to you when I'm ready.
And now that that's out of the way, I can also send one of my rangers to capture the other oil derrick. So the reason why I didn't capture it in the first place was because I didn't want to take the risk of Thrax's units going in on that left side, because it would have increased the odds of that happening. But now that I've got some form of defense, I can capture the oil derrick. It does mean that I had to sacrifice a little bit of the resources that I could have gotten, but I think it was definitely worth it.
We have their building.
Special forces here. Sit back and relax. Give my toxins more time to work.
So I noticed my dozer was in danger here, but I was I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, oh, should I get him out of there? I'm not sure. But yeah, with one dozer, I really shouldn't have been taking so many risks. Even with that infantry there, that was a little bit dicey. The Scud Storm is coming, and it is going to aim at my command center, supply center, and power plant there. So my mistake here, because I was so late getting to the left side of the defenses, it meant that I didn't have another command center up and running, which is not too bad. I mean, it's going to delay some of the general powers a little bit, but I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse. But the command center is definitely a must here. And the Scud Storm, it's always going to hit the first command center, even if it no longer exists. So what that means is we're going to
Upgrade complete.
keep building, but not build anything else in that section. So we will sacrifice the base space because we know that the Scud Storm isn't a threat. And yeah, in the meantime, I decided to use my laser turrets to go after one of the civilian buildings. I wanted to try and see if I could get shots off on that oil refinery there to try and make the vehicles more expensive for Thrax.
Clocked in. I'll build anywhere. Make my own road. Loud and clear.
It is so hard to find a doctor these days who will
Yeah, it
make
wasn't
house calls.
within range of the oil refinery. No big deal.
Build this, sir.
I was just trying to kill a bit of time.
Blow it up.
So I'm going for a supply drop zone. I only needed the one just because we're not building any units here, so it's not like money is going to be too much of a factor. And then I went Moab on his garrison buildings. We're just trying to whittle down some of his defenses that he can't fix.
Then what is around here?
And yeah, thankfully we did take out some of those rocket trippers there by the Toxin, so that's pretty good. And we're going for Spectre on the artillery platform. I want to send in some rangers on that side later on, so I wanted to make sure that section was as clear as can be.
Serving our country. Need a point man? On the go.
Want to make some improvements? Made in the US of A.
Anthrax, it does a body bad.
Any more projects? Let's build. Getting to work. Keep 'em busy.
Yep, so I'm pretty happy with my defenses on the right side, the front line, and my left side now, but the next step of this is we need to expand. And in order to expand, we need to build more laser turrets. So this is where things get a little bit dicey because I need to be able to send my one and only dozer
Position.
past my front lines basically, and also have something in reserve to help defend the dozer whilst he's building the new laser turrets to help defend. So now that we got that new laser, we took out the tunnel network there, and we're just inching our way closer and close to where we want to be. And now that I'm happy with the tunnel network being out of the picture, I'm sending in all my rangers to take out the Stinger site. And the Rangers versus Stinger site is going to go very well for me because the guys inside the Stinger are going to get taken out, which means little to no resistance whatsoever.
Forces here.
In.
Taking new
That's
position.
it, and out. Again. Oh yes, feel better.
Warning, Scud
Beautiful.
Storm launched.
And those Rangers also have the flashbang, so it's going to make things a hell of a lot easier. But the bomb trucks are another story here. So I sent one Ranger in to basically take the hit for me,
Your mistake.
and
On the go.
that saves all the other Rangers that were involved.
Taking
And
new
then same
position.
thing again, one Ranger's going to take the hit,
Unit lost.
Ready for action.
and then the rest will finish off the Toxin rebels.
Bring on the scaffolding.
So this is all just me trying to find ways to keep the dozer in play, distract the enemy as much as I can. Also, those toxins on the map are coming in they're coming in play here. They're very helpful.
Need a point, man?
That one's done. Want to make some improvements? Have a job for me? I'll build anywhere.
And now we're getting a little bit dangerous here because we've gone so far away from where we were building. So we're using the satellite scan to expose that part of the map, but the bomb truck is coming. But I did have that scaffold there, and if you have something in front, then the truck will always go for the scaffold. And so that's all we're going to do now with the dozer is, since we're using him now, we're going to keep building dummy scaffolds to take out the bomb trucks, and then whatever built lasers that we got, that can also help deal with everything else.
Good area.
And yeah, we're at a point where we're using a supply drop zone to gather money, and eventually we will get to a point where we've got pretty much infinite cash. So it won't matter how many dummy scaffolds we build, we'll always be able to do it. We'll always be able to take out the bomb trucks with the dummy scaffolds right there.
Going up. New construction.
You will come for the toxin, but you'll stay because you're dead.
Laying the foundation. On the job.
So by this point, I don't need to do any more dummy scaffolds on that part of the bridge, because I've got the 3 lasers that are going to do the job, and then the toxins on the bridge are going to take out the infantry, so that's also going to be helpful. But with that 4th laser turret that's about to be built, this is going to be a situation where I can just set it, forget it, and they'll do the work for me. Won't have to worry about that section ever again. Now, as for this section, I decided to go A10s, and I know A10s on that arms dealer is a done deal. That's going to work no problem, and the garrison buildings aren't in the picture anymore, so there's going to be no resistance. Also the Stinger site as well, that's on that other side of the bridge, that's gone too.
I see you're building another base, huh? Soon it will be a battle.
Now I'm just trying to clear the toxins, because again, I want to send some rangers here a bit later on, and I'm just trying to pick the right spots. So I think I go, yeah, a little bit away from where the toxins are.
Provisions en route.
So the reason why we want the rangers there in the first place is just to try and keep that area under control, so we don't want the arms dealer back in play, and if the arms dealer does get rebuilt while I'm not looking, we can capture it, and then again, we won't have to worry about that.
Always prepared.
So here I was thinking to myself, could I just destroy that arms dealer right there? And then I thought, maybe let's wait. Let's go for the capture on it, because we can also take out the worker that rebuilds that arms dealer. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. I want to make sure that every worker is accounted for. We don't want to let Thrax rebuild his stuff when we finally go in for our big attack later.
Special forces here. Search and destroy.
That one's done.
So yeah, power is going to be a bit of a factor here. I did sell off 4 of my laser turrets because they're not going to be of any use now.
Clean it house. Ready for action.
Now I want to try and go further north, so then I can go through the back door of Thrax's base, but he's got a whole bunch of demo traps, so we need to deal with the demo traps first, so then we can get our dozer
Upgrade.
to the back door.
Special forces here. Search and destroy.
Want to make some improvements?
And yep, same thing. We're gonna use the dummy scaffold trick to deal with the bomb trucks, and then those toxins will deal with the infantry. No harm done.
Silent, but deadly.
That
Army's
one's
elite.
done.
Need a point, man? Ready for action.
Unit lost.
Take it from here.
Laying the foundation.
Army's elite.
Want to make some improvements? I'll
We have
build
their
anywhere.
building.
Made in the
Our
US
base is under
of A.
attack.
Ah, that's right. Sit back and relax. Give my toxins more time to work.
Have a job for me? Any more projects? Going up.
Yep, so I'm going for the second laser turret for that section. I just wanted to try and like inch my line a little bit closer and closer to that back door, and then what that'll mean is that the more we close in, the more we can sell off. So eventually we'll get to that point where I can go, okay, this is our line now. Let's sell off the line that we had at the back.
That one's done.
And then that
What's the
keeps the
story?
power situation under control here. I won't need to build as many power plants.
Loud and clear. Going up. Keep 'em busy.
And yeah, it was by that point I was like, wait a minute, what if I build a scaffold where the demo traps
Made
are?
in the US of A.
And it meant that I didn't need to use the lasers themselves to take out the demo traps. I could just build more scaffolds and do it that way. So yeah, I hadn't thought about that until later on, but definitely helpful.
Sounds good.
And good thing I used my magnifying glass. We can do the same trick on the bomb trucks yet again.
Bring on the scaffolding. Made in the US of A.
And yeah, this is a safe bet with the Spectre gunship here, because there's very little resistance on the way, because your Spectre's going to go from the bottom right corner, and I've taken out those garrison buildings from earlier. So Spectre's coming in pretty fresh,
You die.
and then we can use the Spectre to go for the Toxin network there. Again, done deal. And then that leaves us with the oil derricks and the black market, which we can either choose to destroy them or capture them. Doesn't really matter either way. We do have 30 grand to play with at the moment, so you can't really go wrong either way.
Made in the US of
Warning,
A.
Scud Storm launched.
So now we're going and making some moves. So we finally use our Moab. So I went for the Stinger Site, Barracks, and Palace. And
Unit lost.
reason for those is because
See, you can tell
if
they
you
are
destroy,
moved just
like,
right
if you
when
can
the
destroy
flesh
all
falls
three
off
of
the
them,
bone.
then he won't actually rebuild the Palace and the
Good
Barracks.
area. Make my own road. What's the story?
Yep, beautiful.
Going up.
Same trick I learned from earlier. Just using the scaffold to deal with that
Ready for
trap there. This time I went for capturing the oil derricks and the black market. Now I noticed my Moab didn't make it, unfortunately.
Always.
So it means that I had to think of something else if there was another way to get those planes from A to B. Because the way you would think would be to whittle down the defense and then do it that way, but
Job for me.
another way you could go about it would be to build a new command center.
Building is ours.
Now, right now, I'm building some supply drop zone
Build anywhere.
scaffolds. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that
Heading out.
I want to make sure that spot remains the most attractive spot in terms of cash value for the Anthrax
Special
bomb.
forces here.
We are building a command center. We do have 2 oil
Unit
derricks in the
lost.
black market now, and I want to make sure that the cash value of the top left corner is less than what I've got at the main base. And yeah, I did lose my rangers there. It wasn't too much I could really do about that. Even if I got the rest to run away, I think they would have gotten caught up in it anyway.
Army's elite.
Any more
What's the
projects?
story?
Made in the U.S. of A.
Special forces here.
New construction? Sounds good. Bring on the
Unit
scaffolding.
lost.
Now breathe in. That's it, and out. Again. Oh, yes.
Need a point man
You
out.
better.
Take a new position.
What's the story? Any more projects? I'll build anywhere. Good area.
Special forces here. Search and destroy. Pin him down.
Good to the last drop.
Have a job for me? That one's done. On the job. That one's done. Want to make some improvements?
I'll give you a breather before our next
Bring on the
attack.
scaffolding. On the job. Make my own road. Sounds good. Bring on the scaffolding. Going up.
Scaffolding trick really does come in handy. Oh, here comes another one.
Getting to work. Good area.
So because we're getting very close to Thrax's base now, the frequency of bomb trucks is likely to increase as well. But what we want is we really want to take out the palace, because it's the palace that enables Thrax to build the bomb trucks in the first place.
General, we have a clogged toxin.
And that's why we aimed the A10 strike in that area, because we wanted to try and do some damage there.
Warning,
And I knew for a
Storm
fact that Thrax doesn't repair the
Want
palace.
to make some improvements?
So I wanted to try and weaken the palace a little bit, which is why I aimed the A10 in a way where it wouldn't outright destroy it.
Unit lost.
It's just that I want to make sure that the next attack that I do is guaranteed to take out everything that I want it to take out.
You will come for the toxin, but you'll stay because you're dead.
Sorry, I can't build there. Ooh, can't do that.
So yeah, I've gone for a little bit of a push this time round with the dozer, seeing if I can get closer and closer to that command center there. And here comes the Moab. So because we've got a new command center, the Moab's going to come from the top left corner. So that's going to take out
Unit lost.
a lot of his stuff.
I didn't need that anyway.
I was able to spot the bomb trucks in time. And the A10s are going to do the same thing. They're going to go for the palace, go for the stinger site. Now, normally, in my experience, he doesn't rebuild the palace.
Good area.
But, he'll rebuild, like, the stinger site in a way where the barracks and the palace are, like, in the way and can't be rebuilt. So that's what I've had in my experience, but this time round, he actually was smart enough to go for the barracks, which meant that he could rebuild the palace later on. So, I mean, it's not a total loss. It does mean that he can't build any more bomb trucks for a little bit. Because the bomb trucks here are probably the biggest threat to me right now, besides the quad cannons. I think it's like, when you have everything else destroyed, he just spams quad cannons at some point. And it does get a little bit annoying if the only units you can work with are rangers.
More projects on the job.
So now we're setting up a line of lasers, and we're going straight for that command center. So with the command center out of the picture, that'll also mean that he can no longer do anthrax bombs, which isn't a threat to me anyway, because I've set up such a good area for the anthrax bomb based on cash value.
Any more projects? Laying the foundation.
Yep, and then one laser at the bottom. We do want to make a path for rangers and the dozer to get through as well, so that's why I did that.
Oh, it is just you and me, General.
And yeah, I knew it wasn't going to work, but I tried to spec the gunship anyway. I wasn't really using it much by this point anyway, so I didn't honestly care if it made it or not.
Unit lost.
All finished.
And since my power was in the yellow, I had to think, okay, well, let's stop. Let's sell off some laser turrets so then we can build some more later on. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that we don't have to rebuild we don't have to build more power plants. We could just sell off the ones, sell off the turrets we don't need.
On the go.
Yeah.
Silent, but deadly.
Going up.
Yeah, I changed my mind there. So these 3 laser turrets are going to put in quite a bit of work here. It's just that the more units that Thrax sends, the more shots my laser will get on the other things that are further away, that's outside its normal range. So it's become a bit of a waiting game. We're just waiting on Thrax's units to make moves, so then our lasers can do things. Just like that worker trying to build a stinger site there.
Give my toxins more time to work. The suspense, it's killing you.
Yep, and there goes the worker. So the worker's what I really wanted to take out of the picture here. So now I'm going to go for the A10 strike and hope that that destroys every worker that Thrax has left. Because we don't want to have any stray workers building things. But then again, we have set up the perimeter to a point where even if Thrax does try and like rebuild the command center, which weirdly the scaffold goes up anyway as they're dying, which doesn't matter by this point because I was pretty confident that we'd taken out all the workers, because we had the one that was at the arms dealer in the bottom right corner. I knew that was taken out, and the one that the lasers took out at the barracks, that one's gone. So now we just gotta hold out, wait for our general powers, use some lasers to take out the defenses and other resistance, and then we can actually beat Dr. Thrax.
No more supplies from this source.
Yeah, I went for a bit of a bold move. I decided to Moab the
Ready
barracks,
for action. Take a new position.
and we're going to send in the
Unit
Rangers.
lost.
So the risk is going to be that quad cannon there.
Rally
But
point confirmed.
we were smart enough to get the Rangers out of there, take out the quad cannon,
Need a point, man?
and then had a bit of a problem with the bomb truck.
Special forces here.
I tried to go for the dummy approach, but didn't work as well as I thought it would, so I did lose some Rangers out of that one.
Trade in progress.
Thankfully that other bomb truck is staying where it is, otherwise I would have lost my Rangers.
Just right when the flesh falls
And we're
off
just
the
going
bone.
for another
Point, man.
Ranger drop. I chose that spot because I knew it was safe.
Ready for action.
I didn't want to try and stray too far with the Ranger drops because I don't know
Need a point, man?
if the Rangers would spawn in on a spot that would just insta-kill them or not.
Special forces here. Need a point, man?
But you see how close my Rangers gotten to those trucks? I don't know why the trucks aren't reacting.
Need a point, man? Search and destroy. Army's elite. Special forces here. Enemy identified.
Anthrax, it does a body bad.
Yep, now we got the palace out of the picture. I decided to try and take out the bomb trucks, which will then take out the other two because they're so
Rally
clustered
point
together.
confirmed.
And then that'll mean that I can aim for the Stinger sight, and then we can take out the Scud Storm if we want. And I think there's only 2 arms dealers and a barracks left. Just got to take out those 3 buildings, and then that's going to be it for Dr. Thrax.
Acquiring new target.
Army's elite. On the go.
Yep, same thing, sacrificing a vet 3,
Rally point confirmed.
so then I don't lose all of the guys.
On the go.
You
Take a new
smell
position.
something? Huh?
But yeah, we got reinforcements coming. They're
Always
going to be
prepared.
doing a lot of damage to that Scud Storm when they get there.
Special forces here.
And yeah, we don't have to destroy the Scud Storm, it's just I wanted
Ready
to.
for action.
And I'm waiting on my general powers to be ready to
Any trouble here.
do my next solid attack on him.
Exterminator has arrived.
And the next general power that's going to be ready is going to be the A-10 strike.
Providing fire support.
So I did get a little bit too close. That attracted the quad cannon.
Unit lost.
So now I got to take out the quad cannon with all the Rangers.
Providing fire support.
Now breathe in. That's it, and out.
He's on the target list.
Again. Oh yes, feel better.
Laying the foundation. Ooh, can't do that. Keep him busy. Have a job for me. Bring on the scaffolding.
Good to the last drop.
Yeah, that one's done. Sounds good. Going up, getting to work. Good area.
give you a
clear.
breather before our next attack.
Laying the foundation.
I'm really trying to build more lasers to try and counteract those quad cannons. It's just a matter of trying to time it all right. Now I thought to myself, I think it's pretty safe to get some to get a paradrop inside Thrax's base. It's pretty empty on this section, so I went for the drop there. No problems there.
Army's elite.
And now we're gonna have another attempt
New
at
construction.
Thrax's Scud Storm, but we also got to deal with those rocket troopers there, which is going to be no big deal because we've also got flashbangs, and there's a laser nearby which will help with the killing of the rocket troopers there. Beautiful. Yep, no more Scud Storm.
Army's
So
elite.
now we just got one arms dealer, one barracks. That's it.
On the go.
Any more projects?
Rally point confirmed. Heading out.
And yeah, since the quad cannon's not the strongest of vehicles, it won't take much from my lasers
Always
to
ready.
do the job.
Made in the U.S. of A.
You will come for the toxin, but you'll stay because you're dead.
Tried to go for another Spectre. I was really trying to angle it in a way where it wouldn't do much damage, but you can see there's a lot of anti-air
Unit
nearby,
lost.
especially at that barracks area. So yeah, that did not go very well for me.
New
But yeah, I wasn't expecting much from the Spectre gunship, but it was, you know, a better option to have than nothing with the general powers. I guess I probably could have gone with like the repair option, but I don't think my dozer actually took a hit from this. My dozer's looking pretty, pretty green in terms of health. So I went for A10 on the arms dealer, Moab on the barracks. So for Thrax, you don't have to actually destroy all his buildings.
Unit lost.
If his buildings are GLA holes, that will also count as a victory. So that's going to be it. I'm Cracklo. Like, comment, subscribe. I do have a Command & Conquer playlist if you want to check out any of that. I'll see you next time. Bye.
You are victorious. Unit lost.
Perhaps I shouldn't have gotten my degree from mail order college.